Ring pop. I probably said, yeah.
Barely. I had to eat it.
Bring myself in this corner so it don't look like you and are isolating ourselves from the rest of the board. Bring myself in this corner here.
I'd like to call this board meeting to order for the Kansas City, Kansas Community, August 13, 2019. This is our budget hearing. Calls to order for a pledge of allegiance, Mr. Merle Bland.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Now we have roll call.
Trustee Ash.
Here.
Chair Brown.
Here.
Trustee Criswell.
Here.
Trustee Daniels.
Here.
Trustee Governor.
Here.
Trustee McIntyre. Here. Trustee Sutton.
Here.
All right. Now we'll have audience to patrons and petitioners. We ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes. Anyone wanting to, okay.
First of all, I'll say that I'm glad that I remembered the words of the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you for the opportunity to address the Community College trustees. I am Merle Bland. I live at 8311 Garfield Avenue, Kansas City, Kansas. I appear here today on behalf of Business West. First of all, I want to express our appreciation for the excellent cooperation that Business West has had over the years with the college. It is very much appreciated. Most of the 75 members of Business West are small businesses. Property taxes are a major concern for most of our members. Business West would appreciate it if the college would hold the line on property taxes. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, so I wrote this down so I wouldn't go over 5 minutes. So I would like to take a moment to publicly share my gratitude, and I'm sure I'm not alone on behalf of our staff, faculty, and students on our campus, to our buildings and grounds team. This team has consistently worked hard all summer, both physically and mentally, to get the various areas ready for our students, faculty, and staff. They have been given multiple projects throughout campus, and to be totally honest, wow. I'm saying wow. The talent we have on this team is beyond amazing. Even though they have their major projects, this team always, I mean, I say always, is ready to provide immediate service for our help desk tickets, where it's from a small carpet stain to a mailbox, boxes to be delivered, whatever. And they have come through all summer long with smiles on their faces, sweat dripping down their face, and working really hard for not just themselves, even though it's just, it is a job to them, but for everybody on our campus. Through the dust, the strong chemical smells, emergency floods, fire, and other major incidents, these team members take care of business. They are always willing to say a quick hi to many people as we're walking by to them, and they're smiling. They work together as a team and do their job over smiling. They work together as a team and do their job over and beyond well. So it's in grounds team for all that you give and have given this summer to make our campus, all of our campuses, the best looking and most efficient for everyone here at KCKCC. Jeff, Dan, and all his team, please express to your team that everyone makes a difference on our campus, and that everyone on that team is very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're
Thank you.
absolutely correct.
Madam Chair, I'm going to move that the approval of the 2019-2020 budget, and happy to report that it does not include a tax increase and holds the line on taxes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the 2019-2020 budget. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. All right, now, may I have a motion
So moved.
Second.
to adjourn the budget hearing? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. All right, thank you so much. Now, we will call the board meeting to order for the Board of Trustees on August 13, 2019, here in the multipurpose room of the Thomas R. Burke Technical Education Center. Roll call.
Trustee Ash.
Here.
Chair Brown.
Here.
Trustee Criswell.
Here.
Trustee Daniels.
Here.
Trustee Garner.
Here.
Trustee McIntyre.
Here.
Trustee Sutton.
Here.
All right, thank you so much. Now may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Once again, we are offering up an opportunity for the audience, to patrons and petitioners to come and speak, limiting your time to 5 minutes. Anyone? All right. Seeing none, hearing none, we'll move on to communications. We have a resolution regarding the consumption of alcohol liquor, Catholic students of KCKCC Mass.
Yes, we do, Madam Chair, and I will read that resolution for the board. A resolution regarding the consumption of alcoholic liquor in accordance with KSA 41-719I, whereas Kansas statutes annotated 41719D prohibits the consumption of alcoholic liquor on public property except where expressly permitted by law, and Whereas the Kansas City, Kansas Community College, KCKCC, is authorized under Kansas law to exempt from the provisions of KSA 41719D specified property which is under the control of the KCKCC Board of Trustees and which is not used for classroom instruction. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of KCKCC, Section 1, KCKCC hereby exempts for the following dates in fall 2019 and spring 2020 from noon until 12:30 p.m. on the following dates: Wednesday, September 18th, Wednesday, October 16th, Friday, November 1st, Wednesday, December 4th, Wednesday, January 29th, Wednesday, February 26th, Wednesday, March 18th, Wednesday, April 15th, and Wednesday, May 6th, upper level jewel from the requirement of KSA 41719D. Section 2, this exemption is granted in connection with the holding of the celebration of Mass for the Catholic students of Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Passed and approved by the Board of KCKCC in a meeting held on August 13th, 2019.
Move approval of the resolution.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. Do we have any board committee reports today that we need to hear today? All right. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Do I see a student senate report?
Manning.
Is he here?
Yes.
All
I think it
right.
is.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
How are you guys? Trustee Ash, I love the new look. There's
Thank
something
you.
different about you today.
It's summer.
Yeah.
See, you caught on as well.
I did. Well, for this past month, there hasn't been much going on with the Student Senate because it has been summer, but we have been getting ready for, the semester that's literally right around the corner. It's next week, right? And I'm sure you guys have been really busy getting prepared for everything that is to come with that. But with that being said, I'm really excited about the first, school-wide event, which would be the back-to-school bash. It's gonna be great. So if you guys can show up, it'd be awesome to see you guys there. Dr. Moser, if there's a dunk tank, I want us both to be in it, right? President and president.
That's
Yeah.
what I hear, yes.
Yeah.
So I am told, yeah.
I think the board chair should be done, really.
Now.
You're going to get in real trouble here today.
I mean, that's something we can get going. The students would love that. I know I would.
That's
I
okay.
would love
You
that.
don't hurt my feelings.
Well, yeah, just I'm really excited for the semester that's to come, right? And I have a lot of hope that it's just going to be good all the way through. Obviously, there are going to be some downsides, but we're the Blue Devils. We can get past it, whichever it might be. Lastly, I do want to say, last weekend I went to Demo Fest, right, with the KCKCC College Dems, and it was great, just being there and being just alongside with other young people, and other students that were just happy and excited about being involved and wanting to make a difference in their schools and their cities, their communities, right, everything. And it just kind of motivated me into just wanting to kill this semester that's coming, right? I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna represent the students of KCKCC the best I can, and hopefully just make everybody happy and everybody proud. So, yeah. Thank you.
I'm sure you will.
Thank you.
You will.
Appreciate that. Do you guys have any questions for me before we take off?
Questions?
What's the day of the bash? What is the day for the bash, back-to-school bash?
Bash. September 4th.
September 4th.
September 4th, yes.
So you couldn't have put me in the dunk tank and you
Fourth.
didn't know to tell me.
They said,
And is the water warm? Is the water heated?
Yeah.
I don't think it will, no, no.
Manny, did you say that the bash is the 4th or the 14th?
The 4th.
4th,
The
okay,
4th,
thank you.
yes.
Now, what are your hours?
What was that?
Hours, are you there from 10 to 2?
I'm gonna be,
How long are you bashing?
I'm gonna be there the whole time, all day. I'm gonna be there.
But what are the hours for the event?
For the, it's gonna be from noon to 2, yes.
Noon to 2.
I was supposed to have the schedule, that was my mistake. I was supposed to have the schedule with me. That was my bad.
I don't want to go there until after the dunking booth has been put away.
Well, I must
Smart
say, I like the
choice.
shirts.
I
like
know,
the
they're
shirt.
great,
Nice.
right? Yeah, yeah.
That's a nice touch.
Mhm.
Great.
Manny, introduce the other two people that are with you there.
They can, yeah, they would like to introduce themselves, actually. Come on, Daniel.
We've seen them before, but it'd be
Yeah.
nice to see them.
Yeah, my name is Daniel Zacapa. Welcome back. I'm happy to be here. I just arrived from my country. I was on vacation 2 months, and I was sharing time with another people. We met another people from England, New Zealand, and we share our tradition with them. And now we are ready to share with a new student, the new community, ready to work together and help another students to get involved in activities.
What's your office with the student senate?
My position is the IT.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nadia Vallecillo, and I'm the Student Senate Treasurer. And I'm happy to be here with new energy from my country, right? As Daniel said, I have a wonderful time over there, and I hope have a wonderful time here too, and help everybody, students, to have the same experience here. And thank you very much for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Great. We're looking for a great year.
Yeah, same here.
All right.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Now we will have our president's report.
All right, thank you. And thank you to our student senate leaders for being here this evening. Always great to see you. So we're really getting ready for the beginning. We're really getting ready for the beginning of the semester. Everyone is talking about the energy that comes when we have students back in full scale, and they're on our different locations at our different campuses, and it's really great to see them and we have classes starting on Monday. So in preparation for that, we use this week as professional development and getting things ready for the beginning of class. Yesterday we had our convocation, which is our kickoff to the year, and really had a great event. Really proud of what the people put together and presented and shared with the college. We had an opportunity to celebrate our faculty members that went through the AQ Teacher Education Training Program. We were able to award them with their pin and their certificate for the year. We talked about some of the things that are going on within the community with all of the economic development taking place and the needs for really educated individuals, both on the technical side of the house and on the general education side of the house, because you can't have one without the other to have a really well-rounded employee and a person. We talked about assessment. You know, as a college, we're getting ready for our HLC accreditation that is coming up in the spring, in March. Had a wonderful presentation by our dean, Cecilia Brewer, on assessment and her team and where we are and what we're doing, and really creating a process and a culture of assessment, which is important for the college. So we really appreciate that. We talked about our accreditation process that's coming up and what is it about. Sharing and beginning to educate the college community with that. So our chair for the HLC steering committee, Kristen Ball, and her team put together a fun way to educate the college on that. And we played the accrediting game with hyphenated before accreditation or after accreditation, which was a lot of fun. They really did a great job. Last year, we were working on our strategic plan, which the college came together and created just a wonderful strategic plan. So this year, we begin to implement that strategic plan. And along with that, we're working on other plans We'll be working on an academic master plan. What is the future of our academic and technical programs? What do they look like, and what are the resources that they need? We talked about, and that is with Dr. Krieger taking the lead on that. We talked about a college master facility plan. What does KCKCC look like in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and 20, so that we can really plan for the future? And we talked about it, it really is. It's a time to look at all the technical aspects, but it's a time to dream. What does the college look like in 20 years? And Mr. Beach presented on that, and we'll be running the lead on that. We're looking at a strategic enrollment management plan. How do we help students not only get enrolled in the college and admitted and into their classes, but how do we help them through their first semester, first year, and all the way to completion? And that really takes a college effort. So Dr. Wilson has been working on that, did a wonderful job on the presentation. And we talked about, with all of these plans and the facilities that we're talking about, we're going to need resources, right? So we're looking at the beginning of a capital campaign. So we will start with a feasibility study. Capital campaign is relatively new to KCKCC, and what is the feasibility, and what can we expect as we look out to our community members and ask for some help with that. And we had a great presentation on diversity and really the hidden gems that we have within the college. The hidden gems that we have within the college. As you look across the table, I'm stealing your thunder, aren't I? I knew it! Yeah. We have these gem rings for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, will you check that off? You're all done with that one? And then really becoming a healthy college. You know, what do we do to become healthier as individuals in our own lives, and a healthier college? So we're kicking off a Healthy College initiative this year, and that will be led by Rob and our Wellness Center and our nurse Kim, and we'll be developing that. And then today was an assessment day, so the entire day today spent on assessment and wonderful breakout sessions across the college. So we're really looking forward to a good year. We've got lots of wonderful plans. We've got a lot of hard work. We have a lot of people working hard on these initiatives. So it's going to be a good year, and there's lots going on, so I'll let the rest of the team share that information with you.
All right, can I have a motion to accept the president's report?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we will hear from the Vice President Academic Affairs report from Dr. Beth Krieger.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
I have some exciting things going on. Even though it's been summer and it's still a little quiet, I still have some exciting things to report tonight. First of all, in your board report, you'll see there are a lot of fun upcoming events under academic support and assessment that you're certainly welcome to attend if you wish. Things like Snack and Learn with the library, maker space painting with the Prez. That might be a really good one to go to.
What I was going to ask a question about that, and because
Sure.
there was a link that you could click on,
Mhm.
and I clicked on it, and then clicked on Makerspace, but it didn't ever come up. So I'm going to have to ask you here. It sounds like that's something interesting. What is Dr. Moser up to with that?
That's a good question. I'm gonna hand that one off to him because I haven't used makerspace painting, and I was thinking of going myself.
Oh, well, it's something fun that we picked up from my daughter, actually. And it's called acrylic pour painting. So it's a mixture of glue and acrylic paint and water, and taking combination of paint layers in a cup and, you know, pouring it on a canvas and using gravity to create images with. So I have some images in my office that if you stop by, I'd love to show you.
Okay.
And it's a lot of fun. Anyone can do it, and we're going to demo that for the students. And we bought enough materials for 40 students to create their own artwork during that time as well. So it should be a lot of fun. That September 4th or 2nd,
It
somewhere around
is
there.
September 12th, 2:30 to 4:30, and my apologies because I've heard of it as dirty pour painting.
Dirty pour painting,
So I've
yes.
never heard it called, so you learn something new every day. So. And that
September
is,
12th?
it is a lot of fun. It's on the
September-
12th.
September 12th,
Yes, ma'am,
2:30 to
2:30 to
4:30.
4:30, outdoor patio of the Learning Commons.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so, and so there's a lot of fun events going on, and thank you again, sir, for describing that. Once again, our music department here is doing amazing things. When I was first researching this college, and I think I've said this several times, I was blown away by how good the music department is here. So a few things that are going on there. In July, Dr. Ian Corbett, professor of, actually this is audio engineering, I skipped ahead, was elected to the Board of Governors in the Audio Engineering Society into the position of Vice President, Central USA and Canada for a 2-year term. And this is a volunteer position. And it's really exciting to see our faculty taking leadership positions in organizations, professional organizations. Okay, on to music. I'm sorry, I just got a little excited there. Mr. John Stafford, Associate Professor of Music, received notice from the Kansas Music Educator Association that the KCKCC Community College Jazz Vocal Ensemble, the Standard, has been invited to perform at the 2020 in-service workshop in Wichita. The thing that's really cool about this is that this is the 5th year in a row that the Standard has been selected to perform at a state, regional, or national conference. I think we should give them.
That's excellent. Excellent.
So that's really exciting. And then I included a couple samples of some student artwork. The art department head, Dr. Paul Himmerla, just completed a student artwork exhibit at West Wyandotte and Schlegel Libraries. The exhibits ran in May and June, and you have a couple examples that are there below. And so it's always, again, good to have our students' artwork out there. The KCKCC New Century Jazz Orchestra, which is an elite group of musicians made up of KCKCC alumni, music educators, graduates, and past and present students, debuted to a full house at the Mason Jar Restaurant on Thursday, August 1st. And there's a photo in there of part of that. And Mr. Marlon Cooper is the featured performer, which honors his legacy as one of the very first educators at the college level teaching jazz education in Kansas City. And so that's pretty exciting. I wish I could have been able to go to that, but I was out of town. So I love live music. In the math, science, business, and tech industry, there's a lot of exciting things going on. One of them is biology assistant professor Angela Consani attended a week-long conference at Johnson County Community College as part of the National Science Foundation grant program. That was called Fostering a Community of Scholarship Among Community College STEM Faculty Through Support for Discipline-Based Education Research. And as I mentioned last month, she was also very involved with the workshop that we hosted teaching biotechnology to area teachers and also community college teachers to help bring that to our young people, because that's a really good career. Also, business assistant professor Dr. Gina Ross was inducted into the National Society of Leadership and Success at Walden University on August 2nd. So again, our faculty are really stepping up and being recognized for their work, and I'm really excited about that. We're also doing some good things in the high school, and one I'd like to highlight comes out of Dean Cleon Wiggins' area. He and Dr. Unoki met with Ms. Tara Lindahl, College and Career Academy Facilitator at J.C. Harmon High School, to discuss a government and political science pathway for Harmon High School students. And if this is successful, the pathway will hopefully be expanded to other high schools in the district, and I'll have some follow-ups on that in the next few months.
Okay, what is the hopes for that? What will that lead to? What is the goal of that?
They're hoping that by following pathways, students get direction early so they don't end up wandering around and end up taking extra courses that they don't need, or wandering down a pathway where they really don't match. And so they're hoping here to have a pathway with the high schools to go into the colleges as well. And again, the details of this are still being worked out, but the Pathways movement nationally is a really big push, because they found that if students find a pathway and are guided in that pathway, they have better direction and they're more likely to be successful. They have better direction and they're more likely to be successful than if they're just kind of cherry picking courses here, there, and everywhere. That has been shown to not be as successful. Complete College America has that website has an awful lot about pathways in it. So I can't give you a lot more details than that of this particular project, because it just started.
Okay, but basically getting them interested in the social and behavioral sciences?
In this case, yes, absolutely, because that's an area of need.
Okay.
So that's an area of need.
Sounds great.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate your interest. I wish I could answer it a little more closely.
Oh,
We're
no,
going to see how this develops.
It just caught my attention as well.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you.
I had promised you that I would give you an update on Kids on Campus. And I even have a picture in there from Kids on Campus from some events that they did this summer. Their partners were Kansas State University, the Learning Club, THERV, KC United, and AmeriCorps. They all sponsor Kids on Campus. This is a 6-week session, and it focuses on activities in science, technology, education, arts, and math. And then each week, there's a different subject or a different area that the children focus on, and you can see what they are here: arts and culture, business and entrepreneurship, animal health and human services, sports, STEM and technology, and architecture, engineering, and construction manufacturing. The enrollment this summer was 232 kids, and you heard a little bit more about that last month. And then below is a photo of them participating and learning from the Southwest Dairy Museum. We got some really good news from the health professions. The physical therapy assistant program graduates had 100% first-time pass rate on their board exam.
Well done.
That is absolutely amazing, and I really want to have a good shout out to the faculty and the graduates of that program. And there's a picture in there of that too. I also want to make a note that the 2019-2020 academic calendar has been updated, in which we moved the midterm grade due date for the first 8-week courses from September 9th to September 16th. The new date is the 4th week of the 8-week term. The original date was too soon for midterms, so we had to make that adjustment when we found that mistake, and I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. And that concludes my report this evening. I really appreciate your interest. Thank you so much.
Any questions? Can I have a motion to accept the report?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept your report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll now hear from Vice President Student Affairs, Dr. Delphina Wilson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey. So today I want to share a little bit with you about our recent SOAR orientation, which is the student orientation, advisement, registration meetings that we have. We host these, I think I've shared with you a couple of times, we host these every semester where we invite and encourage our first-time incoming students to attend these sessions. It's an effort that's put together by our admissions office with the help of a lot of people on campus. We solicit the help of campus police, who goes up there and talks about safety. We solicit the help of our program coordinators, if they're on campus, who might want to share information about the programs that we offer. And then all of the student services offices are there, kind of share their resources. So we had 3 sessions for the beginning of the fall semester to get students ready. One on August 6th, which we had 54 students in attendance and 18 parents or guardians or supporters who were there. On Wednesday, August 7th, we had 38 students and 21 supporters. And on Thursday, the 8th, we had 52 students and 21 supporters, so for a total of 204 For us, that's great news because that's 204 overall individuals who have learned about our college. Their parents are there, which means they can go back and share that information with a cousin, a friend, a family member, or somebody else in the community and let them know about KCKCC. So I do appreciate everyone's efforts putting these orientations together, and we will continue to do them. We will have some more now for the spring semester. And our student success advisors are currently still enrolling. I know that our numbers were not looking as good as we wanted them to be, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I am still very hopeful that those numbers are going to turn around. As of 3:30 or so this afternoon, the student success advisors had enrolled 104 students. So they've seen 104 students. So that to me is hopeful. And these are new enrollments, not changes or schedule swaps or anything like that. So for me, that's very, very hopeful. I am hoping that this will help us, with our enrollment numbers. I do appreciate the effort of our deans and our program coordinators who have been so patient with the student success advisors when it comes to calling them up and saying, hey, can you open up another class? We're running out of space on one class. We need another course. So I think that's been very helpful. So deans, if you're in here, thank you for supporting us. And then the other thing I want to share is about our strategic enrollment management plan. Like Dr. Mosier mentioned, I presented on that during our convocation this year. For me, it's an exciting opportunity to be able to bring all of the areas of the college together. Our goal there is to look at a comprehensive plan that's going to address not only enrollment, but retention efforts and looking at things that we can do to help our students succeed. But we will use the input and the support from every single area in the college, everything from our buildings and grounds team to our campus police so we're very excited about that opportunity. I shared with the group that they should expect to hear from me very soon, encouraging their participation. So as of right now, I think the best way for me to get the word out is going to be to go through the deans and to let the deans go back and share the information with their division and have individuals who are wanting to be part of these different subcommittees, sign up and start working on it. It's a long-term plan, so we know that it's not something that we're going to change in a month or in a semester or even in a year, right? We want to plan this out and really be very strategic when it comes to looking at the data that we have for current students, but also looking at projections. And that is where Dr. Mahir and his team, we will really depend on them to help us analyze that information and look at some projections and things that we can do. We are also doing an initiative already that will go hand in hand with this, and that is something that Ms. Andrika is going to be doing starting this semester, and that is encouraging any faculty member who would like to participate, encouraging our students really to invite their professors to lunch. Now this would be a group event, so a group of students who might be interested in taking out their English comp instructor to lunch there on campus at the deli at a set time. We will facilitate that opportunity, and we're doing that so that that gives that student that extra touch time with the instructor in a smaller group, where maybe they feel a little more comfortable asking some questions that maybe they didn't feel comfortable asking in front of everybody in the class. So I will report on that as we move forward. I'm so excited to see how many faculty members we get to participate and what the students say about it. So that will be one good opportunity. And then the other one is encouraging our instructors or our professors in the classroom to let us know if for some reason they're going to be out of the class. Maybe they're gone to a conference or they have another commitment, and they have to miss that class. They would work ahead of time with Andrika, and Andrika would would work with them on what class is it that they're offering, what are their objectives, and we'll plan an outside of class activity for the students that relates with that class. So maybe it's a professor's going to be gone, maybe Andrika is able to schedule some kind of a field trip or a visitor that's going to come to campus or something that's going to be co-curricular, but tied into the classroom. So we're looking
That's
forward
awesome.
to that opportunity, and I will report on that too as we move forward. Any questions?
Questions?
I have a couple, actually. Just wanted to revisit a couple of things. First of all, thank you for your report. It's excellent. For the lunches, who's paying for that?
For the lunches, it comes out of student activities, so
Oh,
it's
wonderful.
student
Okay,
fees,
good.
yes.
Good, I thought, I took them to lunch. Excellent, okay. And then my second question is, let's see, with the three SOAR sessions that you mentioned, were all of those at the same time of day? I noticed that you'd mentioned that some of the parents attended, and I was wondering if there was a flexible schedule.
Not for right,
that, or-
no. For right now, no. They all start in the morning, so it's almost an all-day thing.
Oh,
So they start in the morning with a welcome from they start in the morning with a light breakfast, donuts, coffee, that kind of stuff to get them pumped. And then a welcome from Dr. Mosier. All of our deans usually are there, and they welcome them also. And then they move through a series of different sessions or different presentations throughout the day. At some point, we split up the parents and the students. So the parents go maybe into a deep financial aid briefing or something, while the students are doing something else. And then while they're there on campus, they can do a couple of things. Get an ID card if they need to do that, help with getting their books, obviously seeing an advisor, to go ahead and get enrolled. So for now, they all start at the same time of the day and usually end around the same time.
Same time, okay. Okay, thank you so much.
And I had a couple of questions as well. I did notice and was pleased to see that one area where the enrollment is continuing to increase is the dual enrollment with the high school students.
It is.
And that's great. And I was wondering, are we able to track and see if most of them continue after high school, if they continue on here at the community college? Because I know it's a springboard, and a lot of times they'll use that to go on to school anywhere else, and we respect that. But I was just wondering, with them starting in high school, their college education here, are we tracking or are we doing anything to try to make sure that they continue the rest of their 2 years with us?
That is a great question that I had someone else ask me the same exact question yesterday. As a matter of fact, one of our faculty members came up to me and asked me that. And the answer is no, I don't have a way right now. I would have to speak with Dr. Mahir and pick his brain and see if he knows of anything that we can do where we can track that. We know that those students are taking dual and concurrent courses with us, but I don't have anything as of right now that I can go back and cross-reference. There has to be a way.
Yeah, because
I'm
it's
sure
a good
there has to be
recruitment tool.
something.
Yeah, it'd be a good recruitment tool, yes.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then the other question is, I saw in there Alex and Robert doing something with Sonocent, and I know in the past that note-taking has not been strong with some of the students. And so I was just wondering, Sonocent note-taking, there's a pilot, like what does that consist of? I'm excited if we have something that can help our students with their note-taking.
So that's a new pilot that will allow for, it pretty much gives you an automated way to get your notes. So it's not a person, it's not an individual, it's a software that the student takes into the classroom with them, and it pretty much transcribes whatever whatever the instructor is saying into notes for the students.
Okay.
And it's new, it's a pilot. Well, it sounds to me like a great way to be able to help students. And if it does work, I would love to see it where it's something that we can have it open to any student, not only a student who has a disability, if possible in the future.
Okay. All right. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
And again, thank you for your report.
One other item. I just want to thank you for the strategic enrollment management plan. I think that really is a comprehensive, looks like a full-blown effort to really increase enrollment. I think it's got great possibility to look forward to more reports on that.
Yeah.
And I thought your last point about needing input and buy-in from all the stakeholders across the college is going to be really important, because it's a pretty comprehensive, complex plan, but I think it's right on target. So thank you for doing it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. And it is something that there's absolutely no way myself or even just my team in student affairs can do. This is something that I really need everybody to give us their input and come on board. And we can't really succeed unless I have obviously the overall support. And then for us, it's very important to have that buy-in from our academic side and our faculty. And I think they're on board. They're very excited. Yes, shared with them. I had side conversations with individuals who said, we really want to be part of this. So it's hopeful.
It just needs to become a part of the culture of the
Yes.
college.
Yeah.
That's what we do, so thank you for doing it.
Yes.
One thing I just might add, if you're looking to get a rich look statistically at those high school students and what they're going to do, you can ask them a question about their future intent, because that's a valid thing to look at. With
To
that
look at,
crowd.
yeah.
Even if, you know, their things don't pan out, at least you've got how many were seriously considering it at that period of time.
Yeah, thank you. That's a really
And
good
that's a good
suggestion. Maybe it's
recruitment
something we can even
device.
put on their
Yeah.
application or something that the high school advisors can help us
Right,
collect.
at the end of their semester, what is your continued intent with KCK?
Thank you. See, that's exactly what the strategic enrollment management plan is going to do. Give us ideas like this, right? When we
Absolutely.
involve everybody.
That's
That includes
great.
you guys. Thank you.
Dr. Wilson, I noted the enrollment at the U.S. Disciplinary Barracks at Fort Leavenworth has exploded. So I'm wondering, is that a result of something new that you all did intentionally, or did they get a new crop of soldiers in there or something that,
Plus, yeah,
you know, are looking, I mean, 174% increase on the credit hours? I mean, it's incredible.
I honestly don't know why it
Yeah.
increased so much. I will be more than glad to find out. I know Dr. Mosier, do you
I
know,
have
because you
information
spoke
on
to
the-
Marcia?
yeah. As we were looking at that, I gave Marcia a call up at Pioneer Career Center. Last year at this time, there was an incident that happened, and the students were, not as many students were allowed to take classes in the discipline barracks.
I see.
And there was also a limit of how many credit hours they could take. So there were fewer credit hours, and they were limited to 6 credits. So with that lifted this year, there are more students that are able to take classes, and they're more able to take more than 6 credit hours.
Yeah, that's
So it's a good,
that's great.
yeah.
Very good, yeah.
And you have a
That's
much better
great.
memory than I do, because I
Yeah.
said in there and completely forgot why. So thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Any other questions? Can I have a motion to accept the report?
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. Now we'll have a report from the Vice President, Strategic Initiatives and Outreach, Ms. Tammy Bartuni.
You wake up
Hi.
Herschel?
No, he's my buddy. I have to say hi.
Are you sleeping, Herschel? I mean,
No, we have an ongoing joke, so it's okay. Hello, team.
Hello.
So in front of you, as promised last month, you will see the annual report.
Right.
So this is
Yeah,
the
very nice.
first public viewing of this document. So I'm really excited to share that with you this evening. Please take a look through. Hopefully you enjoy it. There's so many wonderful highlights of our students and our faculty. It really goes to show everything, not even everything, just highlights of some of the things that we accomplished last year. So please enjoy that.
Tammy, what are you going to do with it? I mean, how are you disseminating this?
We
How's it
will
getting out
have
in the
that in
public?
an electronic form.
Okay.
And we also will do a short print run of it because it's fairly expensive to print that.
Right.
But we'll do a short run of a few hundred that we'll distribute likely to deans and directors and individual departments. But if you guys like to have some, I know you do.
40 for the retirees.
Yes, yes. So we will have a short run.
So
And,
we'll go out to, like, key community people, like legislators?
Absolutely, yep. That's why we're going to have that. So as we're doing
Yeah.
our outreach and our
Great.
strategic visits, we'll have that with us as a tool.
A little
Yeah.
fundraising.
Yeah, fundraising.
Wonderful.
That would be helpful.
Okay,
Yeah, you
thank
did a
you.
great job.
Thanks. Print shop, our print shop is amazing. They do
Yay,
great
print
work for
shop.
us. Yay, print shop. Another thing we've been working on is the program highlights with the president. We've shown, last month we showed a short video clip of Dr. Mosier with one of our programs. We have another short clip when he was participating with our EMT program. He did a pretty good job. So we'll have Randy cue that up.
here with Jeff Smith this morning, the program coordinator, the director of our EMT Paramedic program. So Jeff, tell us about the program a little bit.
Well, we have three separate programs within our department. It's the Emergency Medical Responder, Emergency Medical Technician, and Paramedic. The EMR is the foundational program, and the EMT builds on that, and Paramedic builds on that.
So that's the top level.
So our EMR course is a semester-long course. Our EMT course is also a semester-long. Our paramedic course lasts 20 months.
20 months,
20
okay.
months.
And there's a huge shortage for paramedics, especially in the KC metro area, is that right?
In the metro area as well as nationwide. The last statistic I read from the Department of Labor said that there was going to be a 24% increase in need of paramedics over the next 6-7 years.
Okay.
So there definitely is a need.
So what do the paramedic students do during those 20 months?
Well, we begin the first semester as their foundational semester where they learn basic pathophysiology, medications, learn some advanced skills, advanced patient assessment, and then we build on that and we utilize the scenario-based education model to do that.
Do I see anything in the airway? Oh, the airway is clear?
Airway is clear. All right. Pushing some medication here. We'll reassess here shortly. Russ, when you get a chance, would you throw limb leads on for me so we can just really keep an eye on that heart rate?
So what type of job opportunities are out there for our paramedic graduates?
We're kind of unique in that because of our flexible schedule that we have in our program, we get a lot of students who are already EMTs that work for a fire department or paramedics or an EMS service and are now going to get their paramedic certification. Some of them are being sponsored by their organizations.
Okay.
So we typically see paramedics work in the fire service that provide EMS first response or transport service, such as Kansas City, Kansas Fire Department. And then those that are just a EMS service in itself, Johnson County Medac, Leavenworth County EMS, and Miami County EMS are just some examples. You might also find paramedics working in the emergency departments at hospitals such as Providence, University of Kansas in the emergency room.
Yeah, well, that's terrific. This is great. Thank you.
A little trouble with that oxygen mask.
I think he may have just been in audit mode.
Oh.
It wasn't a grade.
And that kid just would not keep his mask on. But they saved him.
Feisty.
Yes,
feisty.
yes,
so-
the child did very well.
Yeah. We really want to use these as an avenue to really showcase our programs and the great education that we provide. And, you know, there's great demand out there for all of our programs as well. So we appreciate all the work that Tammy and Media Services does on those.
Yeah, that was very professional. I felt like I was watching an interesting news story, for that. So well done, well done.
Thank you. So we have a plan to roll one of these out each month for the fall semester as well as this upcoming spring semester. And we emailed our academic deans, and holy cow, like immediately they're like, well, I want to work on this program next, and can we do this program? So we have an ongoing list that we're going to try to work through. So I'm super excited about that.
And they told me cosmetology was next.
Don't go
Learn
get
to
your
apply
hair
makeup
cut.
all right.
Maybe get your nails done? I don't
Want
know.
to get his nails done.
Yeah, Dr. Merger's going to be doing some nails. Okay.
And I've talked about our stories of impact. I hope you've had a chance to get to the website and take a look at those. We are still recording those. I believe we have 4 or 5 that have been recorded that we're now working to edit to get posted. So we're still trying to build that up to a library of 100. Of course, for our 100th birthday coming up in 2023. And just this week, I was walking through the hall and I saw this lady who had this look of, I don't know where I am. She looked like she didn't know where she was trying to get to next. So I stopped and I talked to her, I know, shocking. And she's one of our new students, and she told me she was 76 years old, coming back to do what she wanted to do was to take voice and art classes. And then her daughter was a graduate of ours several years ago, and now she's working in her field of business. I don't know exactly what business. So together, the both of them, they're going to do a combined impact story for us.
Excellent.
So I'm super excited about that coming up too.
It's going to be interesting.
Let's see. Need to follow my notes. So, back to school fair. We had the back to school fair a few weeks ago, and I know Peter's going to touch on this, but we did serve over 2,131 children actually signed in, and Peter will give you details about how we know that number, but that was exciting to see that. So those are just the kids. So in total, we had well over 3,000 in attendance that day. So really, and I saw a lot of you there, so thank you for supporting that. And that wouldn't have happened without the help of many, many of our departments, offices, buildings and grounds, security, faculty, staff, and the community, of course. So that was great to see that unroll in such a positive way. Okay, so the front page of my report, you're going to see that Facebook post reach. I'm assuming that jumped out at you, as it did us. So we are researching, typically, this past few months, we've been floating around like a 60,000 reach point. You'll see it jumped to 156,000 in reach. So we're researching how did that happen. It could be that there's a slight change in the algorithm, but also one thing that we are doing is we are weekly having conversations, watching the analytics, and talking back to our paid service for the online marketing that we're doing. So we're looking at their analytics, they're looking at our analytics, and we are tweaking ever so slightly, but more regularly than we ever have. So we know that has an impact on this number, but it's huge. So we're super happy to see that our Facebook reach is growing so much. And, disciplinary barracks. So you just talked about disciplinary barracks and the growth in students there. Also, we had the Expungement Fairs over this summer break. You all know about that. So with those two positive events that we've been working on here as a college, we have another opportunity with the DA's office, DA Dupree. He's reached out, and we are looking to offer online courses to some of the short-term stays that are in a county facility where they're here locally, where they have access to iPads. So we are looking through that to see if that might be another source to get education out to folks who might want to take advantage of that.
Who might be paying for that? Would that be something where the county would be paying for that?
I don't have the details. We're just in very, very initial conversations about that.
Okay.
So I'll follow up, of course, and give you updates. But we are just at the very beginning of this conversation.
Okay.
One suggestion for that initial class for that group might be a career development class. That way, out of that can grow career ladders and possible professional development and recruitment to KCKCC.
Okay, I wrote that down. Thank you. And one other thing we've been working on, also with Peter and his team, is a relaunch of our KCKCC app, our mobile app. So that is planned to be launched here in a couple of weeks, I believe, as functional. So watch for that also coming out. That'll give students access on their mobile devices to get into their accounts, see their registrations, hopefully apply online, and get information on the go. Much because they always have their phones in their hands. I have mine in my hand all the time. So we're looking to relaunch that. And with that, I will wrap if you have any questions.
I do. Real quick, I know that Ms. Bartunik, you'd mentioned that, let's see, for your annual report, excellent, well done. I'm very excited to really dive into that. You'd mentioned that you're doing some hard copy distribution and then some electronic distribution because, of course, hard copy can be cost prohibitive. But for your targets for the electronic distribution of this, you'd mentioned that there's probably going to be some community, neighborhood groups, citizen groups. I assume you all have some type of a database or a list, or, and if not, it's okay. I just kind of wanted to understand what what information that you had or that you need.
Right. We do have multiple lists, and consolidating is something that I'm working on to get that done. I know I have some lists, the President's Office has lists, as well as Mary Spangler and the Foundation has lists of community contacts. So we are looking at all of those to see the best route and to whom to distribute these informations.
Excellent, okay. All right, well, excellent, because, I think that, I think you're on the right track with this, and I think the more, not only, neighborhood groups, elected officials, et cetera, but also citizen groups, the more folks that can be exposed to this. I think it's a great thing, not only to boost enrollment, but to boost excitement, to boost just interest from the overall community. I think it's a great way to reach out to those folks. So just wanted to make sure that you had what you need information-wise as far as those email addresses and such in order to make that happen, and make it highly effective, so.
If there's individuals or groups that you specifically want to make sure we contact, just email me.
Could we-
And oh, please.
Okay, sure,
Yes.
be happy to.
Yes.
Happy to.
And I'll make sure they get it.
Okay.
And I wanted to compliment you one more time on the expungement fair, but I did have a quick question. Were the times of those expungement fairs varied, or were they at the same time?
I believe they were all at the same time, but varied days throughout the summer.
Okay. Well, I had a suggestion from a group that said that, particularly for, people who have to take care of their families and they have to zig and zag with other folks, that maybe varying that time might be beneficial to families.
Okay, thanks.
People who work.
I made note. Anything else?
Yeah, the strategic plan was presented, it was packaged real well. It looked really good when we had it. Is that being marketed at all?
It is. We have it digitally online and on our main webpage, that banner that rotates up top. One of the 3 photos is a strategic plan, and it's clickable, so you can click on it and you can see it.
And one of the things that we're trying to do with all of these is, tell our story. As we talked about, we need to tell our story more, and this gives us more avenues to tell that story. And just the professional work that our marketing and print shop does not only tells our story, it says, look, this is a professional place to come to. So we'll be handing out information as we go and talk with organizations and philanthropic organizations and business and industry, and have some leave behinds and the electronic that they're doing. It's really good work.
Right.
Very proud.
Good stuff.
Excellent job.
I would suggest, when you send your email to your mass distribution, I would suggest that you send it with a link to this document on the KCKCC website, just because of, spam filters and such will sometimes
Right.
send it right into people's junk
Right, you're
email
exactly
boxes.
right.
So, yeah, good stuff, though.
Okay, thank you.
And I think that's what we needed in the community. It needs to get out there so that they know that
Right.
we do exist.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you so much. You did an excellent
Yes,
job.
thank you.
Thank
Can I
you.
get a motion to accept the report?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now we will hear from the Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Michael Beach.
Thank you for this opportunity. A couple of things. You have my report. It's relatively short this month. That's a good thing. I don't have a ton of things to report on, except I want to express my appreciation to Ms. Andrika for her acknowledgement and noticing what a great job our facility services do. Sometimes we don't necessarily recognize some of those individuals that I think we take for granted as an institution. Our facilities crews, our public safety and police department, we just kind of expect them to be there because they are, right? And we don't always reach out, and I should be better at that type of thing myself, in acknowledging and expressing appreciation for that. And so I wanted to express that appreciation to Andrika. The other thing is, on this report, I have mentioned here that the classrooms finished in the social sciences wing are nearing completion, and they really are. They have the furniture set up, and I was going to acknowledge Miss Yelena, and she's disappeared. But Yelena really has been a real significant driver. She has chaired the committee of this project, and unless we've driven her completely insane, I believe she will continue to chair this initiative. She's in it for the long haul, and she is the passion and the drive behind this. So while I can stand up and others can stand up and give kudos to our facilities crews, rightfully so, for a job in being able to pull it all through across the finish line to completion. If it wasn't for Yelena's drive, we probably wouldn't be as far along with the project as we are. So I express my appreciation publicly to Yelena for her efforts in chairing the Learning Spaces Committee and being the heart and the passion and the drive behind this project. The only other thing that I have on that I really wanted to bring to the attention of the board this month again, and we'll be doing in more details in the next month's Finance Committee meeting, both based on conversations that Dr. Moser and I have had, as well as specific requests from Trustee Criswell, is the opportunity to refinance our long-term debt. And so in our September Finance Committee meeting, we'll focus on this with specific numbers, and then with the intent that the recommendation be brought to the Board of Trustees in September for approval of being able to move forward with that recommendation. Interest rates have gone down since the last time we've talked about this. There doesn't seem to be any, in the near future for the rest of this year, any conversation or discussion about raising rates. As a matter of fact, if anything, the discussions are to lower them once again, which in some regards is almost scary, but as it relates to at least refinancing debt, that's a very good positive thing. So if we are on the edge of something in the economy that the economists are seeing that we're perhaps not, at least if we refinance our debt, we'll be better prepared to deal with that financially.
Right.
Preliminary figures right now of cost savings to refinance our debt is somewhere between $800,000 and $1 million. Most of that will come from the $13.8 million that we have outstanding that matures in 2026, the 2010 bond series, because that $13.8 million will be able to be refinanced as a tax-exempt bond or issuance. The other two issuances will not be able to be tax-exempt right now, at least, but even at that, the taxable bond rates are still far more favorable than the current tax-exempt rates that we have. So it still makes more sense to refinance that debt. And again, we'll talk more about it in our September meeting and come forward with a full proposal. But excited about the prospects of what that will save the institution over the next 9 to 10 years as we watch the rest of these bonds fold out to maturity. $800,000 to $1 million is not anything to sneeze about. If nothing else, it pays my salary, and maybe you'll keep me around for that long. Do you have any questions?
Just really a comment. Mr. Beach, I just wanted to thank you for your efforts in this area and many of the other areas with regards to financial management, because, as you know, I'm not telling you anything new, but, one of the principles of good, sound financial management is to constantly be looking for those types of options, we shall say, savings options, if you will, and then to be flexible, and I see you month after month doing that. So I just wanted to thank you and encourage you to continue that, because it's great stuff, and it's always good to that type of news. So thank you.
Thank you. I also have to mention, I forgot, one more thing as a follow-up, because I was specifically asked to make sure that I followed up on this item for this meeting. I have reestablished the account at Liberty Bank. It's on the, so we'll be able to transfer the actual money into the CD here in the next couple of days as we complete the signature process.
Excellent.
But the account's been opened, and we're getting ready to go.
Thank you so much. I just wrote a note to myself.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Motion to accept the report?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Now we will hear from Chief Human Resources Officer, but I don't. Okay.
Hi there, good evening.
Good evening.
It's been a little while since I've met the board, so I wanted to quickly reintroduce myself. My name is Sean Burkett. I'm the Employee Relations Business Partner here at the college on Human Resources. Two of the items that I wanted to talk about briefly this evening was really what's in line with the Strategic Plan Priority 3, Employee Engagement. The first one is that we are establishing an employee engagement committee that's set to kick off our first meeting next month. And this is a cross-committee team made up of an administration, faculty, and staff to really see where we're at as a college with employee engagement, where are our strengths, what are our areas of opportunity. So in the coming months, I hope to see some really great things come from that committee, and we'll certainly share those updates with the board as those progress. The other item that we have also in line with employee engagement is a training and development calendar. One of the things, Neela Bruner in our office, our staff development specialist, is working to get a calendar out to our employees here in the next few weeks, which will showcase a variety of different external and internal trainings that will be offered to our staff and faculty to help professionally develop them, ranging from trainings such as customer service and conflict management to external trainings hosted by the Kansas City Professional Development Council. So we're really excited to get this external training that employees will be able to go into a calendar, view these trainings, and sign up and make adjustments all with an automated process. So we've been doing a lot of manual work in HR recently, so this is really our first stab to get a calendar out there for our employees to be able to see what kind of offerings that we have here at the college to professionally develop. And we are engaging with other departments as well to also put their trainings on this calendar if they would like to do that as well. So a couple really great initiatives that we're working on in our office for employee engagement. So with that, I will open it up if you have any questions related to those initiatives or anything else from the report that I can answer for you at this time.
I see you starting an employee engagement committee, so I would just like for you all to keep us updated on the establishment of that and some of the progress that you will make with that committee.
Absolutely, we will do that.
And I don't know if in your calendar you have thought to include places like UMKC, KU, K-State, who offer sometimes quick and very effective higher ed training sessions and workshops, along with additional, degree options, but that might be something that you might want to look at. I think we have had those previously included in that group, but it might be nice to, and that also gives us a connection to get back with those four-year colleges and universities too in one more way.
That's a great idea. We'll certainly pass that along. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? May I have a motion to accept the report?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
so much.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll hear from Chief Information Officer, Mr. Peter Gabriel.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Good evening.
You should have my report in front of you. There's just a couple of things I want to note that are not on that. A couple of announcements. One that Tammy ran across, that we are relaunching the mobile app. It's one of those things we've had for a number of years, but it needed some attention. So we've rebuilt the app and we're making some final adjustments to that, and we'll roll it out probably the second week of classes. The other thing I wanted to say is thank you to everyone in Information Services. We delivered the laptops to the Wyandotte High School Friday.
All right.
Excellent.
I warned the night custodian that we may need to stay till he leaves, which is 11 p.m., but we were out of there well before that. So I think we were out of there before 6. We were out of there well before that. So I think we were out of there before 6 p.m. So I just wanted to say thank you to them because it was a lot of work. We got them fairly late, but got them all pulled together. So we just had one issue with a printer, but we'll fix that. We have a few days to straighten that out. But as I mentioned last month, I wanted to bring Pat Kelly, our academic support coordinator, up to speak on the process that he went through to change the information gathering for the back-to-school fair. So kind of go over how it happened before and what changes he's made to improve that so they get their data back a little quicker. But if you have any questions for me regarding the report, I'll go ahead and take those, and then I'll bring Pat up.
Now, did the app just go away, or it's been there all along?
It's been there all along, the mobile app, it's been there all along. We did run into an issue with some of the pieces that you need to authenticate or sign into, which started the process of rebuilding it. So we have all those ironed out, the authentication works just fine, and now we're just placing some different things on there that were not on there before, that we've just updated things, repointing the web links and things like that, so.
All right, thank you.
Excellent.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Peter said to me at least 3 times 5 minutes. So that's in there. I was asked by Peter back in March if I could perhaps facilitate the gathering and management of the data that comes in during our back-to-school fair. I had never participated in the back-to-school fair, but I said sure, and went and met with the group and was inspired by that group. They do amazing things, and so we came back, and what you're seeing now is the front of what we came up with. The biggest part was to make the data more quickly available and also make it simpler to gather. They were doing this in the past by hand. Each child would have to fill out a form, and then that form would have to be transferred by hand into Excel sheets. And you can imagine the length of time it takes for 2,100 or however many it was. So we wound up using SurveyMonkey. Matter of fact, let me point out, everything we used in this process was already in hand. We didn't have to spend any money. We just applied the resources that we already had. And that was including a lot of expertise out of our IT department. Chad Haynes, one of our techs, was really helpful. We got 12 iPads set up, and on those iPads was one thing, this survey. That was all it did. So we also set up the survey that once the information for the students was entered and submitted, it reset itself and went right back for the next student, and it went very, very smoothly. We had teams of 2 people. One person on the iPad would take the information regarding that student, and the other person would put the appropriate bracelet on the student so they got the right kind of backpack when they came at the end. We monitored that throughout the morning, and by, was it 12:30, Dr. Mosher, I think? We quit allowing folks in, took our last student right about noon, and by 12:30 we were able to send out a report that showed how many students we had, what schools they attended, what grade levels they were in, what their zip code was, their gender, and I think there was 5 questions on there. And this is just an example of what some of the feedback looks like. We were able to deliver it both numerically and in bar graphs. Also, we delivered out to Arlana, who was the manager of this. She has this was also reported out in an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to meet with them again next month, and we're going to write some pivot reports and everything, so they'll be able to leverage that data to both continue the grants they have now and also perhaps get some more grants. But overall, you know, we were able really to leverage what we had and put our expertise to work. And you know, sometimes us tech guys, we like to make our little machines work and think that's really cool. But once it was going, I didn't have a lot to do. So I was able to stand and be there and see the faces, and not just on the kids. The kids were happy, but the faces of the people that were helping at our college, it was just inspiring to me. And so I look forward to working with them again next year. And again, the other part that we ought to point out, Peter, is we were able to do all of this data gathering outside. Because of the upgrade of wireless access, we were able, instead of waiting until they got to us and going to a table, our folks were able to go outside, stay online, and record the data, and these folks were able just to walk right in and go to the fair. So I think it worked out very well. I think it shows the amazing team we have down in the IT department, that we can work with a widely varied group of people and really come up with some good solutions.
Excellent.
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 Well done.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you. That shows what KCK has going on for us.
That's right.
That's for sure.
And like I said, 3,000 people on campus with a good experience made for a great day.
In 4 hours.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions, comments? May I get a motion to accept the report?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. That's exciting.
One follow-up, the media coverage on that was most excellent. We really, we were shining.
Good.
Thank you for all your efforts.
Thank you very much. All right, we have some unfinished business. We had a board retreat on July the 20th and worked on our board CEO communication protocol. Can I get a motion to approve that report?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the protocol. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, also at our retreat on July the 20th, we had some new business that we had to provide, and we had an action to continuations of the contract for the president. Do I have a motion to approve the continuation of the contract for the president of KCK?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the continuation of the contract for our president, Dr. Greg Mosier.
Aye.
Oh, you didn't say aye?
I need to vote.
Oh, you didn't vote?
No, I did vote aye.
Okay. All right, with KCKCC Board of Trustees.
Aye.
2020
Hey,
goal.
you need to take a vote, Roz.
Oh,
You
I'm
need-
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't
Yeah.
vote? Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah.
Don't let me know. Okay. All right. The Board of Trustees 2020 goals that were presented, may I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the 2020 goals. They were pretty lofty. We are looking forward to accomplishing all of those. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much.
I assume those are being posted on the website?
It will be,
Dr.
yes.
Mosier? Thank you.
About the draft word.
Correct.
Right. All right,
Madam
we,
Chair.
yes.
I'd like to just make a quick note about Dr. Mosier. Dr. Mosier came on, and one of the things that he told us during his interview process is that he wanted to be out and be visible and proactive. And I can say, just the feedback that I've gotten from people in the community, he's done just that. And that not only this college can be proud of and this board, but this community to know that we have a leader here at KCKCC that's engaged with Wyandotte County, getting to know the people, getting to know the community, and finding out what needs to be done to see how KCK can be a good partner in that regard. So, and then also the biggest thing for me was, many of you know that the Early Childhood Development Center was a key thing for me coming onto the board, and that was something that Dr. Mosier really took a tune to and really helped move that initiative forward. And now we have the learners, little leaders coming on here shortly.
Leaders.
And so,
Yeah, you're right.
and I know a lot of people
Leaders.
are involved in that, but I really want to compliment and say thank you, Dr. Mosier, for the leadership that it took to really move the will of this board and that agenda forward. So thank you, and congratulations on your renewal.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, thank you. I appreciate those kind words, and really it is my pleasure to serve the college and to serve the board, and getting to know and learn about the people in the community has really been heart-touching to me. So I appreciate that, and I've got a great team sitting over here, most of them still, that are really doing a lot of that work. So thank you to them. Looking forward to this year.
Great. We're going to expect some great things. All right.
Pressure's on now.
More great things. All right. We will need to move into the executive session. We have several here this evening, and we will move into the first. I'd like to move that the board recess into executive session starting at, let's say, 6:30. Give us a few minutes. And we should be back in 5 minutes, returning. Which one?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, returning, should we say 6:35 or 6:40? 6:35 is 5 minutes. Shall
35.
we give ourselves 10 minutes and go?
5-minute break.
5-minute break, and we'll be back at 6:40.
Somewhere else.
First one's 15.
We, 1 and 2 flip-flopped. That's-
Not that it's all about me, but you know,
All right.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
You must be the Greg Callahan.
It'll probably take 5 minutes once we're back there. I know. So how much time, in your experience, it takes to get back there and get back here for the session?
We'll be back at 6:40. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right.
That's 16
See you back
minutes,
at
okay.
6:40. We'll recess.
6:25.
Was there action afterwards? Rob?
Yes.
That passed.
Yep.
We got 4 more to go.
So,
us on. That's what I'm saying. We've never had that before. To let us know if we're late, huh?
I'm gonna come by, yeah, I will, I'll send him, because I have his email address, because I've corresponded with him before. I will send him an email and just schedule, because I'm from home on Friday, so it's very easy just to, you know, pop over for lunch or something like that, so, yeah. Yeah, okay.
This year or last year on the meetings. Do what now?
Oh, no, the sooner the better. I love the Surface Pro. I mean, I like it better on my laptop. I love it. Yeah, it's easy, and it's easy to find stuff. Or, like, if you grew up on Apple, then it's kind of in the crease. So I'm like, okay, how do we even get to the internet? I mean, you know, and that Safari thing. You know, I mean, it's good. I mean, once you know it, but there's just too many things that I have to learn as opposed to just start working. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, even, you know, it's all good though. Okay. I'll just have to wear my jewelry later. You know, put my little ring on.
I just don't think it's in T-bonus.
So I just say, make a motion to accept the resolution.
All right.
Yeah, they own the park.
Right. They had the clock up there. We were too efficient.
Or we could get out early. I mean, I'm messing with you.
Best to go to hike yoga tomorrow. I haven't been over. It looks like 2 weeks.
We can go anytime.
Don't you think? Just take a look. Am I right or am I right? Right? I'm looking for the cape. Is there a cape? Is my mic?
But you know what?
Anyway, I mean that in the most respectful way, of course. And it's like, Superman, save me!
15 minutes.
Even the yeah. I know, right? Now you'll be like, oh, I gotta get that out of my mind, right? Yeah. Right. And that would be really messy. That would be really messed up if we're saying, oh, yes, Clark. I don't know what his name is, but better not be Clark or we're done for. Right? Oh, well. Yeah. Right. Oh, to the. Where? Oh, your KAAC. Oh, good. Good.
I told him I was, like, in the future, instructor, I told him I was, 5 minutes here.
That's good.
Just even more.
Yeah. Look at you. Ontario gets affected. Yeah, they have it every week at my office. Yeah, the Women and Allies group sponsors it or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I might sign up for the wellness center because I feel like the last different. I have weights at home, but there's different machines.
I'd like to call the meeting back to order. I need a motion to accept the resignation of Larry Schmidt.
So moved.
Second.
Schmittendorf, I'm sorry. I didn't
Excuse me.
finish his name. Larry Schmittendorf.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the resignation. All in favor?
One question.
Yes.
Do we need to specifically specify we're not waiving the,
I don't believe so. It was not a request.
yeah, it was not part of the request. Okay,
Something outside of the contract requires the payment.
right.
So all we're doing is
Resignation.
Okay, just want to be sure we were clear, so, okay, all right.
It's been moved, did I hear a second?
It's been moved and
Moved
seconded.
and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. And now we will have another recess to execute executive session, and returning to open session at 6:55 for the purpose of consultation with legal counsel, which would be deemed privileged pursuant to the attorney-client relationship.
So
Be
moved.
back at 6:55.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are at recess. Thank you.
And away we go.
I may not even make my next meeting. But anyway, so, okay. Not, well, 7, but, I mean, it's not mandatory, it's a community meeting. So,
I'm going to call the meeting back to order. There will be no action to follow the last executive session. We are going to request the board recess into executive session starting in
2 minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. We will return to a consultation with legal counsel, which would be deemed privileged pursuant to the attorney-client relationship. Ask for a motion to adjourn.
So
Well,
moved.
how long?
5 minutes. 7?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
They said.
It is a quickie.
Oh,
It's not big.
yeah, we can go straight in, straight out.
We will return at 7 o'clock. Get a motion to recess?
So moved.
How many?
That's 4 minutes, we should probably.
7:05.
Yeah.
7:05. Moved and second that we recess and return at 7:05.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You'll stay here.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, Rob.
Actually, they don't go home when we go home, they're still here. They gotta close everything down. Mhm. And then get ready to do it all again tomorrow. Whatever's going on the main campus.
Maybe it. Hot out there.
I'm actually doing college business, otherwise I'd rather for you to have it. I don't want the responsibility.
All right, we're calling the meeting back to order. There was no action necessary for the previous executive session. We are going to amend the agenda to call another executive session, but it is for a non-elected personnel with no potential action to follow.
We're going to delete number 5.
And we are deleting number 5. Can I get a motion to approve
So
the amended agenda?
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we amend the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We will be recessed for,
Yeah.
okay. I need a motion to go into the executive session for this final session. For 10
For,
minutes. I need a motion to approve.
So I'll move that we go into an executive session for a period of how long? 10 minutes on a matter protected by the attorney-client.
No, persons of non-elected personnel.
I'm sorry, protect the interests of non-elected personnel
With no action to follow.
with no action to follow. That's my motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn for an executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourning for a second executive session for 10 minutes. We'll be back at 7:20? 7:20. It's too much. walk me through that.
Good, all right.
I'm calling the meeting back to order to close the executive. Occur now.
Move for
Can I-
adjournment.
There you go.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we,
Somebody seconded?
yeah,
I did.
Oh, good, good. All right.
3 seconds. Adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Excellent. Great meeting.
Thank you, AVP, for hanging in there. Keep for hanging in there.
Thank you, Ryan.
Sorry I had to finish you. Thank you for being here.
Don't forget to maybe look under, run it.
Maria.